Hello, I'm language philosopher Bry Willis. I share content on Philosophics Blog. I also publish more formal content on Zenodo and PhilArchive. Plus, I publish philosophical books through Philosophics Press. If you're watching this, it was produced with YouTube and Spotify in mind. If you're listening, it was meant for Spotify. You may have found it through other audio, video, or social media channels. Speaking of which, I also share content on the usual social media channels, primarily to notify people and bots of content on my main platforms. Sometimes I just post nonsense, follow to find out. Anyway, enough about me. I recently took a survey, the 2020 PhilPapers survey I've been meaning to take. The link should be in the description. In this segment, I'll be sharing the first 10 questions, the summary of the 1,785 professional philosophers who responded, and my responses with rationale. I may be recording this in pieces and editing it, so don't be surprised if I have different appearances throughout. I have a cold as I'm starting this. Hopefully it will have passed by the end of the production. Before I continue, I'll perform the usual YouTube ritualistic request for likes, dislikes, comments, subscriptions, and the ringing of the bell icon. This isn't likely your first rodeo. If it is, leave a comment. Let's crack on to question 1, right? A priori knowledge. 73% of philosophers apparently think this exists, which frankly is adorable. For those who've never suffered through Kant's greatest hits, a priori knowledge is supposed to be what you know independent of experience. Something like 2 + 2 = 4, regardless of whether you've ever seen 2 of anything. Or, if you're feeling frisky, that all bachelors are unmarried tautology. But here's the problem, a fly in the ointment. All of these so-called a priori truths are just very old, very polished habits, sedimented experience, ossified linguistic conventions. We repeat them so often, we forget the conditions under which they made sense. Then we pretend they shimmer in some metaphysical snow globe beyond the reach of reality. And meanwhile, only 18% of the respondents say, no, a priori knowledge doesn't exist. 18%, bless them like Tiny Tim at Christmas.
God bless us, everyone.
Somewhere out there is a tiny island of miscreants who also suspect that human cognition isn't a magical crystal ball that reveals eternal categories, just practices with good PR. If you strip away the Enlightenment cosplay, all we ever have is the encounter. The world hits us. We develop routines to cope. Language stabilizes these routines, and eventually, someone in a powdered wig decides the routine must have been woven into the fabric of the universe all along. Nah, mate. So, yeah, my answer is no. There is no a priori knowledge. There's only sediment, habit wearing a monocle. And if philosophy had a tendency to converge on truth, you wouldn't still have 70-odd% cosplaying as Kantian librarians 200 years later. But here we are. Question 2.